Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged and in my personal opinion and for entertainment purposes only. So we are going to get into the girls' trip that never ends, you guys. Remember, I don't know how old some of you guys are, but remember, this is the song that doesn't end, and it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because. So I just wanted to say that because that's how I feel about this girls' trip, you guys. It's never, ever, ever going to end. There's even scenes for next week, you guys, featuring this girls' trip. But what we're going to talk about in this video is the failed attempt to ambush Mel. And, everybody came in with the wrong energy, you guys. Stormy would have gotten a better reaction from Mel had she came at her like an adult. Instead, Stormy came at Mel 20 on 10 and expected Mel to respond and give her an answer she was looking for, and it flopped. So now Stormy is backtracking. It went from on the show saying a millimeter did this, a millimeter did that, but now in her post on social media from her grand exit from Love and Marriage Huntsville, she's saying, oh, this was a fan of the show. Which is what you should have said from the start. Was a fan of the show. But you wanted to label this and you wanted to make Mel responsible for people, and responsible for people she has no control over. But it's funny, the people who had so much to say, Stormy and TISHA, who you guys like to instigate mess, like you wanted to instigate the Trish and Martell stuff, and nonetheless, it didn't go anywhere. But both of y'all moms and your brother-in-laws, they can talk all they want on the internet and go live every single day. And I'm glad that Mel acknowledged that the T-Squad exists. That this whole thing is just not a millimeter thing. But all of this flopped, and it flopped so bad that Stormy is using this non-response as an excuse to quit the show. But really, there was nothing Stormy had going on since she didn't want to talk about what was going on with Canvas Beauty. And had she stayed on the show, she would have had to talk about her issues with Kyle and how all of that fell out in the lawsuit. She's not going to stay around to film for that. So she got out before things got real. Let's just keep it a buck. She's claiming that she quit in April. She kept throwing shots and all these things, said that the pay was not enough and all of this. But nonetheless, you were the one that wanted to be on reality TV for years. You wanted to be on Bell Collective. You wanted to be on this show and all these things. And now all of a sudden, because reality didn't work out the way you wanted to, you didn't get to ambush Mel and cuss her out the way you wanted to. Now all of a sudden, I'm all about my brand and nothing's going to ruin my brand. No. If things went your way, you would still be on the show. And this is a cop-out. Also, you guys, Kimmy, TISHA, and Mel had a moment in which you remembered that that's what used to be the show. You know how Carlos King is always like the core six, the core six, the core six? Well, how about we have more scenes with Mel, TISHA, and Kimmy? Instead of them hiding behind all of the drama with Trish, Ken, and Martell and Marquez, and hiding behind all of the drama with Destiny, Sunny, and Moses. Because nobody cares. But basically, Mel said, listen, y'all showed who you were by leaving, Trish and Stormy leaving because things didn't land the way that they wanted it to. And I have no idea why, TISHA even engineered a conversation about Trish and Martell when Trish was like, well, I don't want to do them, but then, I don't want to make it on, with a whole smile on her face the entire time. And it's like, if nothing happened, if nothing went down, why are you so scared to tell this story? And why does the story keep changing every time it is brought up? The truth is not in you. And Shanita clocked it. Shanita dragged Trish and basically said, listen, I think you and Martell hooked up, because how is it that you said you're not married, but you are technically married, but you're separated, but you don't live with the husband, but you have a boyfriend, and he wants more than you want more, he lives with you, he proposed to you, but you're not engaged, you're not going to get married because you're still married to somebody else, and blah, 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 blah. Like it's a whole hot mess. And nonetheless, you're doing all this bobbing and weaving just to talk about Martell. It's giving you did something with him that was inappropriate that you weren't supposed to do. But you didn't have the balls to tell Mel to her face when you were feet away from her what actually went down. You got scared. And that's the fact of the matter. Because Tisha even tried bringing it up again the next day. And Mel was like, listen, Martell is a hoe. Like we're not married anymore. We're not married anymore because Martell sleeps with everybody and could not keep his penis, like she said, his bleep in the household. That's what she said in the earlier seasons. So I don't understand how anybody thought that this storyline was going to somehow humiliate Mel, make Mel, lash out or burst into tears or all of this other foolishness when she's been divorced nearly 5 years from Martell. So it's not going to give her anything other than confirmation she made the right decision divorcing him. Y'all think bringing any single side chick of Huntsville onto the show that has any type of tie to Martell is somehow going to be the gotcha to Mel. But all it is saying is really Martell, is not even faithful to his long-term mistress either. And is clowning his mistress on the show who continues to go up for him. As Martell is letting the people know that he stays in the DMs. And that he stays checking out different women, which means he is still trying to find another woman that is not the 10-year mistress. So all of this flopped, you guys. And you can even see on Destiny's face, once Stormy and Trish were gone, that Destiny just was not here for anything and was just completely and utterly miserable. But my thing is this, you knew what you were getting into by deciding to be Tisha's +1 on the trip. Mel didn't invite you for a reason. So you already came in trying to, do all of this nonsense, trying to talk about respectful cheating with Martell, trying to allege that Mel and the 10-year mistress were friends, and all these things, and all of it flopped. All of it flopped because guess what? Mel is no longer married to Martell. So none of this matters. But it seems that the cast cannot let go of, Mel and Tal as a couple. It seems as though they cannot stop bringing up each other in the scenes that they film. It's as if they do not see Mel as her own woman now, as her own individual woman who is making her own decisions, is a single mom of 4, and is in these businesses. Nobody wants to do that, so now they're resorting to, let's drag Mel's fans. Let's drag the Melimeters. No. And now, no wonder Mel is not contacting you. How are you going to sit there at the dinner and talk about, we know Martell is fine and how good Martell looks and da-da-da-da-da. Do you have a crush on him too? No, because that's what it's giving. It's giving that the reason why you really don't want to leave Martell alone is because you find him attractive, which is crazy, considering all of the stuff that's gone down. I bet your counseling and your quote-unquote mentorship to Martell was like, oh, you're so good looking and you and Mel look so good together and blah, 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 blah. I bet that was the extent of the counseling, because it clearly did not help either party and led to them in Splitsville for good. So all of that mentoring did not mentor. I couldn't even believe she had the audacity to talk about Martell as fine. As if giving an excuse that because he's physically attractive, or in your opinion he's physically attractive, that he could just be out here in these streets. No. So what if people did the same thing to you? No. What if Chris Fletcher's first wife was on this trip and wanted to talk about the timelines, you guys? What if Maurice's first wife was on this trip to antagonize Kimmy and talk about timelines of when they were separated and got a divorce and all these things? And what about any alleged side of, Marceau's that wanted to finally come forward and finally wanted to get 15 minutes of fame and decided to come on this trip to antagonize and confront TISHA? TISHA would be in tears talking about, you're trying to ruin my marriage and I need more proof. It is the energy she would have gave. But it's interesting how you guys can, say all of these things, but when it comes to Mel, there's no limit on what you guys want to do, as long as it's something that is meant to destroy her. And it was giving production interference. It was giving, hey, Stormy, bring up what happened with the fan now. Hey, TISHA, bring up, Martell and Trish now. Let's try to get Mel. Let's try to get Mel agitated. Let's try to get Mel to lose it. Let's try to get Mel to cry. And all of it backfired. And Mel gave each and every single one of y'all absolutely nothing. Because ultimately, here's the thing. Mel has said in the past that obviously she's not going to condone, any out-of-pocket behavior. People don't want to acknowledge that though, right? And also with that being said, Mel is not responsible for these fans. And she's not responsible, for anything else. And it's interesting because if you go to Stormy's post, because she's deleting the negative comments, but on her post in particular, of her whole I quit thing with her filming herself in full makeup and in designer clothes with handcuffs, as if this is supposed to be a flex, when I thought you were supposed to be traumatized from being arrested, but you look like you are absolutely enjoying this. Nonetheless, several comments that you are leaving up there and that you're liking are ones that are bashing Mel. But you want to sit here and come for Mel and try to tell Mel that she needs to hold fans accountable, but it's okay for your fans, Stormy, to talk reckless about Mel because you like the posts. You love the post, in fact, that drag Mel. So how are you even going to question what Mel should be doing with her fans or people that you perceive to be her fans when you encourage just as much of the nonsense with your own fans and even pay your own fans to bash Mel? The same fans who also, had beef with the late Kiki that you continue to pay after the fact. So the issue isn't Mel per se. It's the fact that you thought that you had the power to try to take down Mel, try to take down the fan base and all of these things. And because that didn't work, because you thought that you were going to become the star of the show, you think that this bow out gracefully nonsense that I choose myself now is some type of big win when you were desperate to be on reality TV. And none of it worked. And Trish is embarrassing herself. I don't know what TISHA is talking about, that Trish is having a rough season. No, she's not. What is rough about somebody knowingly being married and knowingly having a live-in dude with them and refusing to divorce their husband and only files until it was time to film around the reunion? Otherwise, there would be no filing of existence, and still you're not even engaged to Ken because you're not that interested. But the only time you guys bond when it is time to come for your soon-to-be ex-husband. That seems to be what bonds y'all together, but outside of that, it is giving he is more into you than you are into him because you seem more pressed about being acknowledged by Martel. But nonetheless, this ambush attempt didn't work. This attempt, like I said, to have Mel go and cuss all y'all out, or Mel start crying and having all these tears, none of it worked the way that you wanted it to. So therefore, y'all tried to pivot. Y'all faces were shook because you didn't know what to do. Because you thought that you were going to have a little a laughing session or a gossip session on how y'all dragged Mel, how y'all got Mel together, except for it didn't work out the way you guys anticipated. So nonetheless, it's going to be interesting to see what happens at this reunion and how this reunion goes, to see who tries to gang up on Mel or tries to, come for Mel besides Stormy and Destiny. It's going to be very interesting to see, because Mel's not going to give them that energy and is going to tell them, listen, y'all are not going to come for me when you guys enjoy the foolishness. You enjoy the hate train that's against me. You enjoy paying people to, spew hate about me. But you want me on the flip side to make a public service announcement as if I'm in charge of the fans of the show. No. So, nonetheless, there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.